Did you know that you can laminate fabric? I laminated my fabric not only on the outside, but the inside as well. And I made these adorable, and I mean adorable, zippered box pouches. They're perfect to put on a keychain or carry your loose change in, and it can double as a mini mask carry case. If that sounds like something you want to learn how to do, then stick around. Hi friends, Tracy here from the Sewing Channel. Welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome. Laminating fabric is so easy to do. And with all these viruses going around, what better way than to laminate all of our pouches and our purses so that way we can wipe them down easily. All product links will be down in the description box just below this video. If you're feeling up to an all-nighter, click the link above and binge watch all 19 of my mask tutorials. Enough talking already. Let's get busy. What you want is your 6" by 6" template, and then you want 2 pieces of the laminate to be bigger than that, and then you want your fabric to be even yet bigger than that. Let's apply the laminate to the pretty side first. What you're going to do is take a pin, because sometimes it's hard to get off, and peel it away from its backing, and then you're going to go from the corner out on your fabric, and you're going to just lay it best you can on top of that pretty piece of fabric. And then with your hands, you're going to go ahead and spread it out nice and evenly and nice and flat. And here I've taken the side of my ruler just to help me out a little bit, but you don't have to. With the shiny side of that piece of paper that you peeled off of the laminate, you're going to lay that right on top of that vinyl. And we're going to hold the iron about 8 seconds or so across all areas. Now here I'm taking it in sections because I have a small ironing board right here. Now you want to be very careful here. You do not want to hit your hot iron on any part of that vinyl. It will definitely melt. Your iron should be on medium heat. Just take your time during this step and just make sure all areas have been covered with the iron. Once you've hit all areas on that pretty side of the fabric, we are going to turn it over, and the directions say to iron it about 4 seconds on the back of the fabric. Here I'm just showing you the shininess of it. It feels kind of like a thin vinyl tablecloth. Now we're going to apply the back vinyl to the wrong side of the fabric. Make sure you line it up with the front vinyl. So essentially you're just going to come out of that same corner, applying the vinyl on the back, just out of the same corner that you did the front. Hopefully that makes sense. And then we're going to just repeat the steps to iron that vinyl onto the wrong side of the fabric. And that's about 8 seconds that we're going to just iron and lift up as we go to make sure that that adheres. When the vinyl is still warm on the fabric, it is really pliable. And then as it cools, it actually becomes really stiff and has a lot of structure to it. Here I'm showing you the difference in shininess of the laminate compared to a piece of the fabric that didn't end up getting laminated. Now you're going to take your 6" by 6" template, lay it down on a piece of the fabric that has been vinyled, and then you're going to go ahead and cut a piece of fabric out. You should end up with a piece of fabric that is laminated on both sides. Next, I'm going to cut out 2 pieces, those tabs for both ends of our zip pouch. They are about 3/4 of an inch in width and about 2.5 to 2 3/4 inches in length, and you'll need 2 of those. You can choose though to have just 1 tab if you'd like, but I just think the look of 2 just looks so stinking cute on these bags. Because we laminated the fabric, it should not fray, but Just to take that extra step of cuteness, I'm going to go ahead and pink around every straight edge. This is a really nice finished alternative edge. One of the rings are going to go through one of those tabs, and here I'm just putting it on and just creasing that vinyl over it, and then just folding the other one as well. For these small zipper projects, I do prefer to have a longer zipper than the project itself. My zipper here for reference is 9 inches long. With the zipper closed and that toggle of the zipper facing toward the right side of that fabric, put a couple clips in. Now you want to be able to see where you pinked just out of the edge of where I'm pointing right there. Take it over to the sewing machine and sew about a 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way down. Now I'm using a Teflon foot here, but you can definitely use your zipper foot. Having a Teflon foot is really nice. It is for projects just like this going over vinyl. See how the pinked edge, the little teeth, poke out from the zipper? Perfect. Before we put a top stitch in, you're going to go ahead and fold where we pinked. You're going to fold that toward the wrong side of the fabric, making a nice crease right there. Then we are going to top stitch right along the top, right next to the zipper area. Right where I made that crease, I'm sewing about probably between 1/8 or 1/4 inch right where that crease is. It should look something just like this. You should have 2 rows of stitching right along the back. Now lay your fabric with right side up, and then you're going to take the bottom of that fabric that's not connected to the zipper, and then you're going to lift that up to the right side of the zipper. Line it up just like before with the pinked area sticking out right from that zipper area. We want to be able to see that peeking out. And then you're going to sew right along there a 1/4 inch seam allowance just like we did before. It should look something just like this. Now we are going to unzip it and we're going to apply a top stitch to the other side of the zipper. This is why I really like using a longer zipper during the process, because it just makes things easier. Once you get it all unzipped, go ahead and just like before, we're going to fold that pinked area toward the wrong side of the fabric, and we're going to finger crease it all the way down right before we give it a good top stitch. And then you're going to about 1/8 of an inch, you're going to top stitch right after that crease all the way down. You should have something that looks like this. It's like a tube with the zippers hanging off the edges. Now you're going to unzip it and flip it inside out, and then you're going to zip it only about a 1/4 of the way. It's a very important step to make sure that we unzip it a 1/4 of the way, because we want to make sure that we can turn it right side out after we've sewn it all together. If you are putting a ring or a clip on that one of those tabs, make sure that the ring goes on the side that the zipper toggle is when it's zipped up or closed, because people hang on to the ring while they unzip, if that makes sense, hopefully. Now you're going to place the ring inside of the pouch with the tab sticking out, and then you're going to go ahead and grab your other tab and put the loop part on the inside of the bag. Now this is important because when we turn it right side out, we want the loopy part sticking out. So then with that tab hanging out, you're going to go ahead and clip that in place. And then what we're going to do is go ahead and sew a 1/4 inch down both sides of this bag at the ends. Because my zipper is made of a polyester plastic, I can sew right over these zippers with confidence. Now, if I was using a metal zipper, there's no way I could sew right over the zipper teeth. But in this case, no worries whatsoever. And what I do here is I reinforce by going over it a couple times in that side area. because I just don't want it to come loose in any way. You still do, though, need to make sure that you go nice and easy over top of those zipper teeth when you do pass over them. In order for the tab or the ring not to shift during sewing, with my left fingers, I am holding down firmly the ring or the tab as I feed it underneath my presser foot. This way it won't shift. Once the sides are all sewn, you are going to go ahead and pink the rest of the zipper tapes off of the side, just like that. On both sides, along with the tabs also as well that were sticking out, you're going to pink right through. Now go ahead and grab that zipper toggle and unzip your pouch. In this next step, you can actually customize how boxy you would like the box. For mine, I'm going to do about 3/4 of an inch of boxy corners. So on each corner off to the side, I'm going to give it a pinch, just like you see me do there. And I'm kind of lining up that seam that's pinked on the end with an imaginary crease mark on the sides of this box. And that will help me line up how much I'm going to sew into. If it helps you out, go ahead and clip it just like I did there. And now I'm going to measure 3/4 of an inch down from that point, make a mark, and then I'm going to draw a line straight across, just like you see me do right here. So essentially what you're going to do is sew right down that dry erased line. So what I'm doing here is just marking all 4 corners, but honestly I think I might erase part of it by the time I get back to the sewing machine, so be careful of that. The good thing about using a dry erase marker is that if you do make the line wrong, like I did here a couple times, I just swipe it with my finger and it comes right off and I can redo the line. Remember when you pinch those corners that the pinked edge on the ends are pointing downward or away from that zipper area. That's important because it will make things sit right once the pouch is all done. Now we're going to take it to the sewing machine and we're going to sew a straight stitch following that dry erase marker line, and we're going to back stitch when we start and when we end, and we're going to sew all 4 corners just like that. Since this step is customizable, you could do a 1/2 inch, you could do a 1/4 of an inch from that point. However deep you would like this pouch, it's up to you. I really do think though 3/4 of an inch makes a perfect little boxy pouch. With your pinking shears, go ahead and cut the excess bulk off of all 4 corners. Be sure to poke all the corners out. The inside should look something just like this. You see how those pinked edges are pointing downward? That's why we wanted to sew them in that manner. Here we can see what the final size is. It only stands about 1.5 inches tall, and it's about 4¼ inches in length. It is so cute. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of this tiny box pouch. I'm going to show you guys a trick that you do with vinyl and the hot iron in order to get the wrinkles out. What you're going to do is put a lot of steam on your ironing board, and then you are just going to run your item that is vinyl over top of it, and the wrinkles just press out. You see, you never want to put the iron directly on the vinyl plastic, so this is the next best thing, and honestly it really does work. These things are so addicting. I can't stop making them. Until next time on the Sewing Channel, take care.